Okay, guys, so pretty big news. If you guys didn't hear already, the Fed made its decision on interest rates, okay? Just at a small hike of 25 basis points. And Jerome Powell said that he's the head of the Fed, he's the chief. He said that inflation is cooling, so those are all good signs, guys. So what ended up happening is the market's been pumping, okay? Everything was up. The SPY was up, S&P 500, the QQQ, the NASDAQ, Tesla, Meta went through the roof. I hope you guys saw my short where I told you guys I was buying Meta calls right before the earnings, and it looked like that's going to pay off for us, okay? So those Meta calls printed. Meta is absolutely soaring after hours. They didn't post such great numbers, but they posted a $40 billion share buyback, guys, okay? So now Meta is way up in after hours, okay? It's at 183 now. I hope you guys can see that. It's at 183. Closed at 153. Now it's at 183. So those calls will print. So the good thing is I bought some calls in the Robinhood account for the small Robinhood account challenge. So that, and I think those calls were at I believe those are at a $200, $195 strike price. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but we'll review that quickly. So those calls should be printing. So hopefully, we'll see how much that account is up tomorrow. So in this video, we're just going to basically explain why stocks are up. Just go over what I'm going to be doing moving forward, for February. So if you guys enjoy this content, please smash the subscribe button. Okay, so let's get right into it. So first off, I highly recommend you guys grab you a Wall Street Journal subscription. It's probably, I would say Wall Street Journal and Seeking Alpha are my two favorite sources for getting insight and things like that. CNBC is good as well, but Wall Street Journal and Seeking Alpha are probably my two favorite ones. So let's just quickly go over what happened. It says the Fed slows its tightening with a quarter-point interest rate rise. So I don't really think the quarter point was the reason why the markets pumped. I think it was Jerome Powell's comments on inflation cooling. So that's really what we want to hear. We want to hear inflation is cooling. So it says the Federal Reserve approved an interest rate increase of a quarter percentage point, signal plans to raise rates again next month to continue lowering inflation. Okay, so let's keep reading here. Basically, they're trying to keep inflation under control. We know that. Fed funds rate. So let's see if we can get... okay, here we go. This is what we're looking for. So this is Jerome Powell. He's the chairman. So it says, we can now say for the first time the deflationary process has started. Okay? The job is not fully done. So that means that inflation is cooling. Now we're heading into deflation, which basically means that, basically prices should be not necessarily coming down, but we're not going to see prices rise like they were like crazy back in 2022. You know, guys talking about prices for everything, food, gas, everything was high. So that's good news. So right now the markets responded very, very well. So at the moment, like right when the news was happening, I actually ended up not really selling all of my calls. I just figured like the markets were down so much. I did close out a few positions to get into Meta. Meta was my favorite trade because I just felt like inverse and Kramer really pays off, and it did this time, okay? Now, Meta didn't post a good quarter, like I said, but they did a huge buyback. So if it weren't for that buyback, I don't think Meta would have gone up. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the most popular stocks. We're going to cover Carvana in the second video. I really messed up that one. Carvana went through the roof. Carvana really pumped. I don't know what it's trading at right now, but the last time I saw it, it was like 15 bucks. What is it at now? Yeah, it's at $16. So that one really squeezed. So once again, a lot of these stocks with high short interest, cooling inflation, Carvana squeezed. We can see here the volume was way up, okay? Monday it was 300 million shares traded. Volume on Cardano was through the roof. How much was it today, the volume? Volume was 78 million shares. Okay, not as high. Tesla's another great one as well. So guys, like I said, basically lower inflation. It's good for the stock market. Once people realize that inflation is cooling off and the Fed is not going to be raising rates so aggressively, that's when you're going to see a lot of this money that was sitting on the sidelines. It's going to be moving from bonds. It's going to be moving from dividend stocks and income yielding assets back into tech. So this is a great opportunity, I think. If you haven't got into the market yet, there's still time, okay? Now, I know a lot of people are saying like stocks like Tesla and things like that are too expensive. But guys, check out the weekly chart, okay? If you take a look at this weekly chart here, we go over here over the past year, okay? We hit, this is the daily, now we hit the weekly. We can see that Tesla is still way oversold, okay? Look at the RSI, just sitting at 46. Tesla was $400 stock at the peak of the bull market. It's still down a ton. So a lot of these tech stocks, they have a lot of room to run, and they've been green for several weeks now. And if we look at the monthly chart, we can see it a little bit better. We can see even more clearly how much room Tesla has to run. So the reason why Tesla and these stocks are going to run so much higher is simply because Tesla's a stronger company. Most of these companies are stronger now. They're cutting staff. Their revenue is up. They're doing buybacks and stuff like that. So these companies are actually more valuable now than they were, back in 2021 when, the interest rates were low and things like that. So I think this is a great opportunity, guys, to load up on call options, load up on your favorite long positions. I don't think that the market is all topped out. Okay, we take a look here at the QQQ for the NASDAQ. Once again, looking at the weekly chart, still way off all-time highs. So there's a lot of room left to run. And that QQQ, that NASDAQ, it's going to be pumping pretty aggressively, probably for a little bit longer now. Okay, we look at the monthly chart here. We see we got a lot of room to run. We even look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart looks fantastic. So I wouldn't even think about probably taking some profits until the QQQ is back at around 330. It looks like we have a double bottom here, so we're going to probably be pretty bullish moving into next week. So that wraps things up, guys. I hope you guys learned something from this video about how the markets responded to the interest rate news. Like I said, I'm still bullish on most of my tech stocks. We're going to talk a little bit about Lucid and Carvana in a separate video. I want to make separate videos for those stocks because those situations are a little bit unique. But, Meta, once again, I'll show you guys those Meta calls that I bought on that small Robinhood account before I wrap this video up. Okay, so the Robinhood account is at, okay guys, so the Robinhood account right now is sitting at, it's up, so I started with 10 bucks, total capital add is like 40 bucks, so those Meta calls that I was talking about, I'll do a short recap on the portfolio, but I just want to show you guys those Meta calls that I picked up right before the market closed on Tuesday. Okay, so like I mentioned, inversing Kramer's pretty popular. I bought those calls. I bought them at, I bought one call because I didn't have much money in the account and I still was holding my SoFi options expiring in March. So I ended up picking up just one contract and small investment, one contract expiring on the 10th at 200 strike. Okay, just paid 18 bucks for it. This call will print, okay? This Meta is up big. Okay, Meta's up 20% after hours. That's insane, okay? 183. So, most of the trading isn't even done during after hours. So we know most likely Meta will pump again on, to end the week basically. So those calls should print. I'm not exactly sure how much they'll be worth, but I'm glad I bought them expiring next week instead of this week. And it's a $200 strike. It's only a couple bucks away, so they should print pretty well. So this account should be up pretty nice. So hopefully this account is at least over $300 to $400. And like I say, guys, we're going to try to grow this account. I would say in the long run, I'd like to get this account as high as possible. But, hopefully, things will work out. And we also have some other earnings coming up. We have Amazon, Alphabet. So we're going to be making some more call options trades. Right now, the market's bullish, so just be buying calls. No, I won't be buying many puts lately. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. And thanks for watching, guys. Take care.